Minnesota has a long history of sports, but sadly, without much winning to go along with that history. However, the Vikings are in the news with their efforts to get a new stadium built. Gentlemen, do you believe taxpayers should contribute to the new Viking Stadium?
You know, I am unfortunately a Green Bay Packers fan because you know I've lived in Minnesota here, but you know what? With the constant letdowns of the Vikings and all their stupid decisions that they like to make, like trying to run over cops in their cars and all that stuff, the Green Bay Packers have a long-standing history. But getting back onto the topic, I don't think so, because you know what? The Minnesota Vikings, they just, it's not like they were like the Minnesota Twins that, are actually pretty good and are supported by everyone in the state. The Minnesota Vikings just suck. Yeah. Yes, I understand that, having an NFL team does bring money into the economy, but not that much, because, the only season that they had where every game was packed and where people were actually consistently watching was when they got a Green Bay Packers person to come and play for them, which in Brett Favre, And I'm sorry to say it, but yes, it takes Green Bay Packer to turn the Vikings around.
Okay. Actually, I think the economic data has to be in already. There's a reason that cities embrace professional teams. And then there's also the byproduct of getting national exposure. And so I think taxpayers should pony up. And the difficult part right now is, do we know that the money is being well spent? I think people who really question this, that's what they question. I do want to add this, we do talk about politics on this show, and it's probably sad that we haven't had enough discussion right now because of the national issues, contraception. And these are issues that are going to go away. These are issues that are going to go away in the state of Minnesota at some point, and maybe not completely away, but out of the limelight. And then people are going to look up, and people are going to be responsible for a stadium deal. And we have, kind of been sidetracked by the national political scene right now. And, but yes, I do think that we should be making a contribution, because it is a moneymaker.
Yeah, you mentioned revenues. I think I read somewhere that upwards of $7 million is generated per home game for the Vikings. I mean, when you think about the hotel industry, the food industry, I mean, you have, and game tickets and merchandise being sold. I mean, that's a lot of revenue the city of Minneapolis would be losing if they were to leave or go, I guess, into a different city. But then that city would, of course, gain that too. So it's a very, very interesting subject. I don't know where exactly I fall on this, because at one point I'm thinking, okay, you have these multi-million-dollar owners, and the NFL is such a rich league, but at the same time, it does provide jobs. It does provide so much revenue to the local communities that it's a very tricky subject. And there are multiple sites right now, and multiple stadiums being kicked around right now. Basically, though, it seems like they really want to keep it in Minneapolis instead of Arden Hills. But I mean, there's a lot of different options on the table. And I think personally, in terms of the Viking Stadium, I would love to see a Viking Stadium get built. I would, but I also want to see it played outdoors. I mean, I think football is meant to be outdoors. I'm a former football player. That's where I want to see it. But this has more just been kind of a teaser. We don't have a whole lot of time to tackle this issue, but we're definitely going to come back to it.
Yeah, you should add one thing, though. These are not millionaire. These are billionaire owners.
Yep.
The players are millionaires.
So, sometimes there are billionaire
all right,
owners.
fine. Give the Vikings a stadium, but I expect to see some results. If I don't see results within like 5 years of the new stadium, you know what? What a waste of money.
Well, sadly, that's all the time we have for today. But tune in next week for more political discussion right here in the Granite City.